It just really, it's it's an honor to meet all you people. It's not so horrible why we're here because we have to meet under these ugly circumstances. But all you people are great. It's how the public blindly believes everything a policeman tells them, and how many times we catch them in lies. How many times, like the police chief in Richmond is patting himself on the back all the time about how his community policing is working, and every time you confront him about what happened on September 14th, you don't want to talk about it, or you're unable to talk about it because it's an ongoing case. And but they managed to say enough to slander my son. The night they came to my house to inform me of it, actually they came to my house to interrogate me, asked me if I had a good relationship with my son. And I said, yes, I do. When's the last time you saw him? I said, a few hours ago. I work with him daily, and we work 7 days a week. So he asked me if he'd done drugs. I said, yeah, he's experimented, but he's not a drug addict. He knew what he liked and what he didn't like. Well, that night he happened to be intoxicated, drinking, but he was with friends. They were walking him home. The policeman singled him out from the people he was with, like 4 people, and harassed him. The ugly part about that part is my son had been complaining to me for months on end about how the police had been harassing him and singling him out. Like one day in particular, there was a homeless guy out in front of our yard. My son knew, I knew him as well too, but some thugs went and beat him up, and he was bleeding out his nose and his ears and stuff. My son called 911. The police come up, and they started asking him questions about someone else in the neighborhood, and didn't even pay attention to that guy. He goes, what are you doing talking to me? I didn't call you here to talk to me. I called you here to deal with this guy right here. You're not supposed to be doing this. So anyway, like I said, I told them my son experimented, so they go and take it and put it in the media that my son had a drug problem, which is so untrue. That reminds me of the days when cops used to lie about us hot-rodding our cars up and down the streets. Those were little white lies. Now they're lying about murdering our children and stuff, and it's really getting ugly. Some of the older cops, sure, they threw those little lies out there, and I'm still here to testify to that. And I never really trusted them back then very much, but I still respected them. I pretty much lost all respect for them because they, especially when they lie about how they do things. We catch them on video and they still lie about it. How that cartoon go the other day, you can indict him if you got a video, you can't indict him as justifiable murder if you don't got a video. So, you know what? Like one of my friends, his son's a cadet officer at El Cerrito. He was there at our side when it happened, and good friends with us. He's still good friends with me. But now his son's a cadet. They don't want to be associated with us because we're fighting the police department. So I still like the guy, still a friend of mine. I'm sorry he can't see through the lies. And it's just how the public blindly believes everything a cop tells them. It's they do. Anyway, I see so many similarities to how they left my son sitting on the ground for 7.5 hours. People tell me, I saw the videotape. The cop testified he shot him once and my son lunged at him, then they shot him 2 more times. Well, the videotape shows, you guys can see it yourself on YouTube, the murder of P.D. Perez or Richard P.D. Perez. P.D., by the way, comes from the middle name of Pedro. The cop shot 3 times, bang, 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 in succession. He did not hesitate. My son did not lurch towards him. It's just lies right there. They just continue to lie. The district attorney, he just follows those lies and says my son attacked him. but in the police inquest, they say that my son, the officer attacked him from behind, pulled him down to the ground, which kind of reminds me of that Eric Gardner thing. He got tackled and they sat on him and couldn't breathe. Well, my son got tackled and he was on him. He couldn't handcuff him because his hand was pinned underneath him when the cop was on him. So the cop fell on his own rump, and that's when he got up and had the gun in his hand. And that's all they got to do. Is the number one thing they train these cops now is I feared for my life, you reach for my weapon. And it works for him every time. And that's what all of us together here are going to fight against, is police brutality, the police lies. Policemen's Bill of Rights, they give 10 days to premeditate defense. We can't get the truth out of them immediately. And then they sit on the police reports. They'll sit there and justify we hired them. Less than 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, I believe it was, they didn't have the county coroner's inquest till 2 months later. Then the district attorney didn't clear the officer until January 20th, so another month later on that one. But the cop's back on work in 3 weeks. One thing my wife did the other day, she went out and put posters on the telephone poles and light poles saying, "Beware, there's a killer cop on your streets." You know, we found out where his beat was, and that's while she was putting up the signs, a lot of people from the community come out and talk to her and said, "Oh God, I remember that," and "Oh, I didn't know he was in our neighborhood," and all that. So, you know, we're trying to get the indictment going. I was lucky enough to bump into the Melinda Haig, who is the United States Attorney for Northern California. She said she's going to have an appointment with me and review my case, and I can do my homework and get the stuff together. I hope I can get something out of that. So, but then again, here we go again with the police and the police, and she's number 2 policeman. Melinda Haig's number 1. Lynch is number 1, I think. Hopefully we get something. She sounded a little receptive to what I was saying, and I just can't get over how people just blindly believe the police, and it's just unreal. So I thank all you guys for coming out here. I thank Kadeen for having us, bringing us all together like this. There's too many of us who have our children murdered by the police and more murders period on the streets. That's another thing I was going to say. Our son, we always told him, you be careful what you say to those guys on the street, because a lot of them are packing guns. Never thought it was going to be a police officer who was going to do it, and how he did it. Everyone viewed the tape, the video, said that cop officer's cool. What was he thinking? It's, you guys can look at it yourself if you like. It's hard for me to watch, but and I get up to that point where I see my son holding his chest. I gotta turn away. I know someday I'm gonna have to watch it when they go through the court thing if that gets to that point, but it doesn't make it go away. I got a constant reminder every day. Something so beautiful in my life, and so ugly right now, is watching my wife cry every day. So my son was my parents' his grandparents, my parents' only grandson. He was going to carry on our name. And, that's something. We got my grandparents have a couple granddaughters, but the name goes away there. It's just my son was real close to my parents. Actually close to his uncle, my brother. It's just the police are the only ones that say anything bad about him. We can't find anyone who says anything bad about him. Actually, a couple of officers come up to me. I know several of them in the city of Richmond. They come up and say, "Wow, this guy picked the wrong guy to shoot. We can't find no dirt on him." He had a few little blemishes, but nothing criminal. So they just picked the wrong guy. And, the odds are greater for winning the lottery than having my son shot. Well, I got instructed in writing, I guess. I don't like it, but bad odds, I guess. All right, thank you guys.